Hi, I'm Quirky Girly. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I do not post very often because I'm not very comfortable in front of the camera or speaking off the top of my head, but I'm going to give this a try. I have just received all of my books that I'm planning to use this year, my planners, my journals, and I thought that it might be helpful for some of you to see the similarities and differences in the choices that I've made. I have the Rosey Life Planner, which is the new flow planner. I think you'll find that very interesting. Then I have the Hobonichi Cousin Avec. My cousin, the normal version, got so chunky, I'll show it to you later, that I decided I needed to have just the 6-month version. And then I also have a little Hibino that I'm trying for the first time this year. I hope you will find this interesting and informative. So the first thing I do when I get my planners is I do an ink test on them. I have fallen in love with fountain pens and I use them every single day. I love to change the colors and the pens, and I love to journal. That's my journal, the sage one over there. So I write every day. I went into my Rosey planner and flipped it all the way to the back and started with all the different nibs that I could think of. I did fine, medium, I did a harpoon flex nib, I did a mini stub, I did a 1.5 stub, and then I did a Sarasa clip and the pen that comes with the Hobonichi. And then I also did some ink splotchy tests. So I did that on each one. So this is the Rosey planner. You can see that it has kind of a cream colored paper. And then on the back there was 0 bleed through, which is fantastic and in keeping with the compact planner that I had from her last year. Really nice, a little bit of ghosting, but that's kind of expected with the Tomoe River paper. Next, I checked out the Avec from Hobonichi, and again I used a fine nib, a medium nib, flex nib, mini stub, and a 1.5 stub, and then did a couple of ink swatches. I do want to admit that I dripped a little bit of water on this one, so there was a little bleeding, but really it was only that one tiny spot that I dripped water onto. And you can see, again, really quite impressive, really thrilled. I can do any of my ink swatches on here, and I bet I could even do watercolor. So that was really nice news. The last one is the Hibino, and one of the first things I noticed is how teeny tiny these grids are. They're really tiny. Again, did the Hobonichi, the Sarasa, a fine nib, medium nib, flex nib, mini stub, and a 1.5 stub. And immediately, one of the things I noticed about this is how pretty it showed the shimmer in my inks, which is really great because I'm planning to use this as my commonplace book and also to do all of my ink swatches in here. So this is really good news. And then here's the back. Very little ghosting. Really nice. And the tiny little size is perfect. I had used a, I can't think of the name. I got it from AliExpress. Kinbor, the Kinbor, and it was this size, and I did that for all my ink swatching last year. Really great size, really nice. I know lots of us have Hobonichi, and we love the Hobonichi, but I thought it would be really nice to see it next to a planner that not everybody does, which is the new Rosy Life Flow Planner. Here is the Hobonichi monthly, and you can see how the it's very distinct dark gray here, and they have red on Sundays and then on any of the holidays. Here is Rosy Life, and it's much more muted, very understated, very small writing up here, which sometimes can be an issue. I do wish those were a little bit bigger, but very small, very little writing. One of the beauties about this is that after the month planner, it then goes to almost a tracking couple of pages where you can do anything you want. It goes 1 through 30, 1 through 28. This was February. So something for each day here. And then here, there's a really interesting way of keeping track of things that you're working on. And you can mark as you go, which is really nice to see where you are with your different projects that you're working on, whether they're at home or at work. I'll be using this partially for work as well. So right after this part, there is the week view that is the vertical week view. This is really important to me. I find it really great to be able to have my client list here, and then I generally mark it off on the bottom and the top, and I do, you know, some things on top, like maybe the dates or the weather, gratitude, different notes that I need to know at the beginning of the day. And then in the evening, I do, you know, different types of paying attention to what's going on during my day, writing a to-do list, that kind of thing. And then it does a horizontal, which I love that. I mean, here's the week, then here's the horizontal week. So I can do my meal planning, my keeping track of exercise, macros, all that kind of stuff. And then immediately right after that, it goes into the daily pages for the month. So you have each of your weeks for the month. So it goes week by week, 1 week at a time. Each week has this beginning writing place where you have lots of space, and you have your horizontal and your vertical. And then it goes into the dailies for the month. So your whole month is right there in one place. I love that. So as you're going through your book, instead of like the Hobonichi, you are having your vertical week, which I love. And all of your vertical weeks are here in the beginning. See, all the vertical weeks. And then at the end of the book, you have your daily pages. So I just think that's a really cool option to have. Rosey also has a lot of really interesting tracking things in the beginning of the book, and you are welcome to go online and watch her videos, and she talks a lot about all the different things that she does with those. Really great. Anyway, I hope that was insightful and interesting, and I hope you'll give me a like and a subscribe, and maybe I will get the nerve to make some more videos. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.